Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Hot Topic exclusive pre-release of the dead Gus Fring Breaking Bad Funko Pop figure. Now, I hope you've already seen all of Breaking Bad, otherwise you just got a major spoiler, in which case, why are you even watching this video? Easily one of the coolest moments in the show is when Gus comes out and turns his head and you see half his face blown off. And I think they did a pretty interesting job with how they approached this as a pop. First of all, I think it's interesting that they made two of these. They made a regular Gus and a dead Gus, but they're using the same body type. And this is exactly like the suit and the pose he is when he dies. So like the regular one, I don't know, it's less interesting if he doesn't have this head, if he's going to be in the exact same pose. Having said that, and we're just focusing on this one, the head is interesting. And I say interesting because there's some pros and there's some cons. The pros are they did a really good job capturing all the damage that gets done to his face the way it is in the show. I mean, if you go back and freeze frame it, go look on the internet, you can see that where the bone is exposed, where the blood is, where the meat is, and all these little markings here, they're all pretty accurate to like what happens to him. Accuracy aside, it's a little weird looking at this because it's at once too detailed and not detailed enough. The design of it is really cartoony. It could have been almost simpler than what they did, or it could have just gone the whole other direction, been super, super gory. But either way, when I saw this photographed, it looked weird. The initial official press release photos, it almost looked like Play-Doh or something. Seeing it in person though, it does look better. I will give them that. This looks better in person than it ever did in photographs. But I will give them credit. They did do a good job of like nailing all the aspects of his gore. I just think it's a little too gross and gory for Funko style, but it's also like too cute and Funko-y to be truly like gory to what happened to him. I don't know, it's a weird middle ground, and I don't think it's bad, nor do I think it's totally great. I just think it's weird. It's an interesting pop. Other than that though, let's look at the rest of them, because there are some good things. His hair is pretty well done. I think they did a good job with the graying on the sides, even though the graying does bleed onto his skin. Because, you know, Funko does have weird paint. His eyeball's not fully painted, but I do like the half line. It does convey his attitude, because he did have kind of like a dry, sullen face. But the hair doesn't have like any weird paint blemishes, so that's good. And I do like the sculpting they did to achieve his hair. It does look accurate in a Funko style to what his hairstyle is like. The rest of the figure is really well done, from the blood on his shoulder to the blood on his hand, to the fact that his hands are actually painted well. I mean, it's really, really clean work, as is the black shirt coming out of his coat sleeve there, to like the little tie that he's gripping there. This is really clean paintwork. His shoes are clean, they're not bleeding over onto his pants at all, and his suit is very clean and like blemish-free, and it's a good sculpt. This is actually one of the cleanest Funko Pop figures I've seen in a little while, and certainly the cleanest I've seen from the Breaking Bad line, because I've been hunting for some of these and seen some really messy ones, but this one turned out good. One last thing that I recommend you keep your eyes out on the lookout for: the teeth. You can see that this one's kind of smeared. I saw some where his teeth were really smeared. And there's some where there's like actual extra gook that's not supposed to be there in his eye. So keep an eye out for those things. But this is a good looking pop. It's got a lot of good personality. It's a great moment from the show, and I'm glad that Funko chose to highlight it. And it certainly does look like Gus. It's got his attitude. It's got, you know, his eye paint really does convey that. It's a great pose. I'm happy with it. Thanks for watching.